Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Today I'm here with a special guest. We have Khushpreet Toor.
Everyone knows me for being obsessed with Drake. I feel like I can relate to a lot of his music.
Would you say he's Canada's #1 superstar?
That's a big statement.
He was at Victoria College.
Where?
The building right behind Margaret Addison Hall.
Everyone sees him there.
Explain to me why people do bird courses.
I'm also the captain for the Vic women's soccer team. The first game was the most people we had.
How many?
8.
Oh, man.
I'm going to be honest. For girls, it's really hard because we have to look a certain way. I feel like I've overcome that.
It's good to have high standards. You will have high standards for your partner if you have high standards for yourself.
This is fact. Girls try so much harder than guys do. I'm not assuming that you are like this, but I met a lot of guys that just using girls for bodies. They would never go for any of those girls if they were thinking about long-term relationship.
I try to avoid the texting game, if you want to call it.
I'm so over it.
It's basically a game.
Yeah, it is a game.
I get shit on a lot for my fashion.
Okay.
I need some tips.
You
Like,
give me like the type of white boys that look like they go fishing every weekend.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on frats?
I know good people who are part of frats, but no, I've never been to a frat myself, actually. I've never actually gone
Really?
to a frat party, no,
Like, what's your reason?
because it's... Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the VoV podcast, Voices of Vic. Today I'm here with a special guest. We have Khushpreet Toor, big-time Drake fan. Nice OVO hoodie again.
Hi.
So are you like UofT's #1 Drake supporter?
Yes, everyone knows me for being obsessed with Drake.
That's your thing.
Yes,
Khushpreet,
my
this Drake
personality.
superfan. Okay.
Yeah.
Were you at the OVO UofT merch drop like I was? That's the thing.
No.
I did not see
I was
there.
not in that line for that long. I joined really late, so I had to dip because it was 2 hours long and I was not going to stay.
That doesn't sound very committed to me.
No.
No. I went there with my friends. I told this story before, but I went there around, I think it was at 2 a.m. The
2
place,
a.m.?
2 a.m. Place opened at 11. So we got there 9 hours early because we're not huge Drake fans. I already told you this off camera, right?
Yeah.
We went there to buy out the merch to resell. So it was purely a business. Well, I guess that's a Rotman move according to you. But yeah, we went there. Didn't turn out great. It was a whole mess the whole night. But tell me why you love the certified lover boy himself. What's the reason?
That's a great question. No one's actually asked me that. I don't know. I started listening to Drake back in like grade 6.
Okay.
And I don't know. I feel like I can relate to a lot of his music. He's been through a lot in his life, and most of his songs, like, he's describing his life lessons.
Yeah.
And yeah.
What do you feel about like the meme culture around Drake? Why is it that
I love it. It's
every
really
time
funny.
he drops a song,
know.
people have something to
Yeah.
say? I feel like he does it on purpose, though.
Yeah.
The one where he's like,
21.
do your
Can you
thing,
do
21.
something for me?
yeah. That's also super sus.
Yeah.
Is it a business
It's
move?
like
What do
really
you think?
fruity.
Yeah, super fruity.
Yeah.
Is it just purely for a business move?
I think
He
so.
knows it's gonna blow up.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
That's fair. Does that how does that incorporate into life lessons then?
I don't know. I mean, he's making money out of it
That's true.
because you're listening to it more.
Yep.
Yeah.
Life lesson to get rich.
Yep.
Yeah. Are you trying to follow in
he's a
those?
billionaire, so
Is he a billionaire?
pretty sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's pretty huge. Would you say he's Canada's #1 superstar?
That's a big statement. I feel like for Toronto, yes.
More than Bieber? I feel like those would be the top two. I don't know who else
I
could
mean,
be.
I like Drake more than Justin Bieber, so.
I feel like they're different spaces a bit. I mean, they're
Yeah.
both kind of pop. Drake's a bit pop.
A bit. He's like rap and R&B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't think he's in that same circle as JB?
I don't know. I feel like Justin Bieber's tried a lot of rapping lately.
Yeah.
And it's not
hitting?
It's not as great as Drake.
I mean, the music video he did for Drake was pretty good.
Yeah. That was good.
That was
That was
artistic.
during COVID, right?
Yeah, it had to be. Had to be. Anyway, sorry. You're a health and disease specialist.
Yes.
Why? Why you do that? Why you do that to yourself? Seems like a lot of hard, long nights.
It is really hard. And I'm also doing a double minor with the specialist. So it's even more.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've always been interested in bio and chem until first year chemistry,
Yeah.
which I don't want to talk about. but if you know, you know. Yeah, I really like bio and also art history, which is why I'm doing the minor, but also to increase my GPA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. What about you?
Econ major, not Rotman.
That's it? Just one major?
I got a double minor also.
On what?
Psychology
Oh,
and stats.
interesting.
So some numbers. Psychology, you got to know how people think. I feel like none of those are really GPA boosters. Explain to me why people do bird courses. I don't understand. Like, the reason is to boost the GPA, but do people actually, are they worried that badly about that number? I feel like I just don't put the importance there.
I mean, it depends on what you're doing after university. Like, most life-size students are doing med school.
Right.
And GPA is like the top thing that you need to worry about. And at U of T especially, like, it's a GPA killer. You need to work on your GPA by taking easy courses.
Right. If med school is that kind of strict and that hard on people, do you think that they wouldn't see that, something like that? Like, oh, this dude just took art history. Like, it's not like they can know in any way, but there has to be some way of being able to, decipher the people who went for the easy courses versus the ones who didn't.
I mean, they probably can, but I talked to the registrar at Vic, and they said if you're taking different electives other than like bio and stuff, it looks better on your resume because it shows that like you have actual interests and you're not just focusing on bio, or chem.
Is that the plan for you? You're going to med school?
I don't know right now. Maybe dental school.
Dental school.
I'm still thinking about it.
You're not going to veer off onto a path of freestyling rap?
No.
Not going to be Drake's next feature?
I've thought about it, but I don't think I can compete with him, so
that's fair. That's fair. He was at Victoria College in my first year.
Where?
So the building right behind Margaret Addison Hall.
Everyone sees him there because he comes to like the restaurants in Yorkville.
That's exactly what it is. And there's video. Like we actually saw him twice. Had a nice conversation with his security guard before he left, because the security guard is like waiting out there for like an hour.
Yeah.
And Drake's security guard's life advice is do not do any hard drugs and you'll be okay. Really? That's his life advice.
Fair.
Fair?
Yeah.
What would be your life advice to Victoria College people if Drake security guard retires?
Oh my God.
And he hires Khushpreet, and everyone's like, yo, we can't wait to see Drake. What are you telling them?
My life advice to Vic students, honestly, just keep doing what you're doing. Stay focused. It's okay. Like, you're going to have moments like bad grades, but as long as you don't give up, I feel like, and keep doing what your goal is and working towards that, you'll be fine.
Good advice.
Yeah.
Good advice.
I don't know if that was good. I just kind of made it up.
What's the most stressful program?
Stressful? Like at U of T?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like life science is one of them.
Okay.
It's very competitive. Engineering is completely just, I don't know, it's crazy.
Different level.
Yes. And also CS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have to agree. I think those are the top three.
Mm-hmm.
I did a poll in the summer about who's smarter, CS students or life sci students, and life sci students won by a lot.
How?
And it was like, I think the vote was like 17-5, but all the comments were saying that CS students don't have time to be on Instagram. That's why there was no votes for them.
Yeah.
You think that's fair?
Yeah. They're always studying, so it's fair.
Yeah. What's the lifestyle like day to day for someone in life science versus CS? CS, I feel like the personality profile is very different between these two programs.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it depends on what your major is, especially in second year. It's a lot different.
Is there a lot of like difference between the life sci majors, like in terms of like the people that do them?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think psychology is still considered life sci, right?
I don't know. Maybe.
Because it depends on your workload in your classes. Yeah. Like some classes like chem requires a lot of practice problems, and bio is just a lot of memorizing. There's H&B memorizing and textbook questions, which is just genetic problems.
Mm-hmm. Proteins and shit.
Physiology is also the same thing, memorizing.
Yeah.
It's all like the same.
How do you feel that like ChatGPT and this type of stuff is like going to put in these scuffed ass doctors into the workforce? Like you always see the memes of people saying this is what bridges are going to look like after everyone passed their engineering course with ChatGPT.
Yeah,
Do you think that's a problem?
I've thought about this already. It's
Yeah.
kind of concerning, especially like not just Chat GTP. No, sorry.
Close. GPT.
GPT. Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost said GTP because of bio.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not just because of Chat GPT. I also think because of TikTok and social media, there's a lot more distractions nowadays compared to like 20 years ago, where like doctors of today wouldn't have had those things. Yeah.
Do you think that TikTok and all this type of stuff, is this like just the distractions of today, or is this like a completely different level that the doctors back then didn't need to deal with? Because I feel like maybe in the past there were different distractions, but maybe just not to the same intensity.
I don't think to the same level.
Yeah.
No. Because back then there wasn't much technology. Like you were forced to go outside and like do things like exercise or something, right?
Yeah.
And now everyone's just on their phone sitting all day.
Yeah.
Like I'll be studying and then taking lots of breaks, just going on TikTok and not really studying properly.
Fair.
So, yeah.
Are you trying to get off of it? Have you just accepted your fate with where you at with TikTok?
Yeah, like I'm trying to get off of it during midterms, especially. I just delete TikTok or Instagram or anything. Yeah.
I feel like I've noticed that the more people use TikTok, the less creative they become. In the sense that, let's look at humor, especially in the terms of humor. People that abuse TikTok, all of their jokes are just TikTok sayings and clips. And it's like I hear the same thing from
like
these types of people.
Like that one Toronto meme with the accent that's going around.
I saw something about that and
like
I didn't understand.
Everyone that I know is just like repeating it. I'm like, shut up.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you lose a bit of like, I don't know, you lose a bit of uniqueness to yourself. Mm-hmm. It's harder to be an interesting person when you're saying original, right? All of that. Mm-hmm. So what's the cure? Do you think that, okay, now I actually talk all the time about the downsides of TikToks. I think TikTok's a fucking horrendous app.
Me too.
But people have it. Let's look at the good sides. Maybe we need to talk positively about it.
Positively?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just so people can understand
let's
why
talk
they
about
do
businesses.
it. Okay.
You can do a lot of promotion, advertising.
Yeah.
And obviously, like a lot of people are on their phone, so they're going to see your TikToks.
Yeah.
And that's how a lot of businesses have blown up since COVID.
Mm-hmm. So businesses, that's one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at just like the average user, not someone who's producing. If you were just someone who watches TikTok, what could be the positive side of that?
Like you can just go and search something that you're looking for. Like in the summer, I was trying to look for places to go in Toronto, like restaurants, and I found a lot. And I found it really helpful.
Is it different than just like a Google search though?
Yeah, because Google, you have to go through websites and it might scam you sometimes. I don't trust that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. But TikTok, you don't think TikTok's scamming people?
I'm not sure.
You don't have anything to hide?
I don't think I have anything to hide. At times, I feel like they're listening to you because I'll be saying something random and it'll come up on my For You page.
100%.
I don't know if that's just me.
No, it's facts.
Yeah.
I think they proved that. Some guy did it in like 2010 with Google. So he turned his computer off or his laptop off, something. He was talking about dog toys. And then he went on Google to search for something and there was ads on websites for dog toys. Crazy.
That's weird.
But I think that's a thing.
2010.
Yeah, this is a long time
Back then.
ago. Yeah.
That's crazy.
When I was 7.
Nice to know.
Just for context. But yeah, no, it's a complete mess. What have you made of your first 2 years at U of T? I feel like there might sometimes be people stumbling across this podcast who are, incoming students. Maybe they're thinking of applying to U of T. Mm-hmm. Maybe you can give them a unique perspective of kind of what it's been like.
These are such hard questions that I need time to think about. First year was really tough for me. It was a big transition from high school to university because most of my high school was online, COVID, quarantine, and I didn't take IB, so we didn't have exams or anything, no practice. And yeah, like I was used to having open book tests and assignments all the time. And first year was like a big hit. Like no one's going to tell you, oh, you have this due tomorrow. Like your teachers were constantly reminding you in class what to do. And you were forced to do work in class because everyone else was also doing work, right? So in university, I kind of fell off first year. Like my GPA went down. Second year, I'm okay now. I hope it stays that way. Yeah, I think it's important to stay like disciplined and just work towards your goal and not get too distracted with like going out. I know Toronto's like really big because there's so much to do here, especially living on res. It's like, oh, I don't have to study. I can just go out to like a nice restaurant or go partying. Yeah. What are your thoughts on frats?
Frats. Good question. Are you talking about the frats themselves or the frat events, like the parties and all that?
Like in general.
In general.
Yeah.
I know good people who are part of frats.
Okay. Same.
The first ever episode of this podcast was called Organizing Frat Parties. And it was with my friend Phil. Shout out to Phil. He's an awesome guy, but he's part of a frat at UofT.
What frat?
Alpha. I swear, Phil, I'm not forgetting. Alpha something.
It's
I don't know.
Okay. I don't know any alpha frats.
Yeah, no, it's a Jewish frat.
Okay.
So I think there's only one of those. Maybe you can find it. Anyways,
Yeah.
I know the name. I can look it up later. But no, I've never been to a frat myself, actually. I've never actually gone to a frat party, no. I'm not a big partier
How
in
come?
general.
Like, what's your reason?
Because it's degenerate, in my opinion.
Good.
No offense to Philip. I think Phil's a great guy.
I'm glad that you know that because first year I didn't know anything.
Right.
And I obviously went to frats. And now I'm like, no, there's like no point. Sorry, no offense to people who are in frats. But I just don't see the point. Like, everyone's drinking, smoking. Like, they don't know what's happening around them.
Yep.
And it's really tough for girls.
Yep.
I want to bring that up. Because random guys will just be, like, trying to grab you and stuff. And you won't remember this at all. So it's kind of... Yeah.
It's not a very safe environment. Not at all.
No. What are your thoughts on drinking?
Drinking? I don't drink.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Nice.
There we go. You don't drink either, or do you drink?
I have drank, but I don't really like drinking. No.
Yeah.
I don't see the point.
So, okay, wait. Let's make the distinction. What do you think is the difference between a frat party and just a regular house party? Is there a difference? Is it the same thing?
Regular house party is a lot cleaner, and you know the people, so you feel safe.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I feel like when I was younger, because a lot of my friends in high school would go to these types of parties, right? And not that I felt left out. It's just none of that ever appealed to me. So I'd have the people who I hung out with in school, but after school, it wouldn't be something that I'd go meet them up to do, right? And it felt there was a kind of an interest there, just because it's like, okay, I like these people. They're good people. Why do I not enjoy the same things as they do? So I did go to one party, not a frat party, but kind of a similar environment I felt in first year. And that was enough for me to be convinced that this is not my thing. No. This is fucking stupid.
What do you do on your free time? Like, how do you hang out with your friends and go out? Like, what do you do when you go out?
I will admit I consider myself extremely fun. To the average person, I don't think that they would think I have a very fun life. I like doing this.
Yeah.
Podcast, this stuff's great. I play hockey. I go to the gym. Schoolwork when I got to do that.
Yep.
And when it comes to like friendships and social interaction, obviously you get that at hockey. You get that at the gym. But no, we'll have guys come over on the weekends sometimes. We'll play cards. Nothing crazy. I hang out with my girlfriend a lot. That's a great way to spend time. You know what I mean? These are like, I enjoy spending my time with the people I'm genuinely close with and building those relationships much stronger than they are, instead of trying to go interact with every person that I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's a good perspective to have.
What do you do if it's not going to frats anymore?
I don't really do much. I commute now, so I have to like stay home most of the time. I have strict parents.
Fair.
Like sometimes they're pretty chill. Or I'll just.
Are they going to be watching this?
Yeah, probably.
Nice.
I usually do some activities with my friends, like go to the movies, restaurants, some of their places. That's it. Like we don't really, or go to the gym with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're big into working out.
Yes, I love working out. I'm also the captain for the Vic intramurals for women's soccer team.
Women's soccer team.
Yeah.
Respect. That's I'm on Vic hockey captain.
Nice.
So we can share in that. How's your season been?
Not great.
Is it over?
Yeah.
You're still playing?
It didn't go well because half the team did not show up. So
Women's soccer. What the f***'s wrong with you guys?
Yeah.
You're letting Khushpreet down over here.
It was pretty sad. I was so excited. Like the first game was the most people we had.
How many?
8.
Oh man.
Or some like 8 or 9. Yeah.
Did you default ever?
No.
No,
once.
you never once.
Yeah. We had 3 people, including me.
That's tough.
Yeah, imagine playing against 11 players.
Yeah, no.
3.
Yeah, no.
No.
Unless you're like a complete stud and you're just hiding your soccer skills out there. Maybe.
No, not me.
No?
No.
Mr. and Mrs. Toor didn't raise a soccer all-star?
No, my dad used to play soccer. He was good. I don't know what happened to me.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah, no, it's tough. Hockey gets a lot, which is weird. Maybe it's like, how do you feel about the interest in women's sports? I feel like the push is bigger than it's ever been, like in terms of just like the culture and the society. Like everyone is trying to get women's sports to become a big thing, but there's still struggles.
Yeah.
What's the reason for that?
I don't know.
You don't know, as Vic intramural soccer women's captain. You got to speak on behalf.
I don't know.
You got to speak on behalf of the 3 players.
The struggle of having more players.
Yeah.
Like
just, I feel like it could be a difference between men's and women's sports.
I mean, there is, but I feel like, I don't want to say this, but I don't know. It seems like there's less interest in playing sports for women.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because there's already like the stigma around it where women aren't that great. So
Right.
women don't try. I don't know if I should be saying this.
No, that's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah.
It is. Whatever you
Yeah.
think. That's what we do here. Give opinions.
Mhm.
Some people say far more out of pocket shit than what you're saying, so that's fine. Yeah, it could be the stigma. It could be that like majority of women just don't even care. Like, do you think some girls just don't give a shit about sports? They'd rather do other stuff.
Yeah.
Might be that.
Mhm.
Because my cousin is a hockey goalie. She plays college in the U.S.
Damn. Good
So-
for her.
Yeah, shout out. So I have I understand that there are very good female athletes out there.
Mhm.
I think that's
There
obvious.
are.
People know
I
that.
agree. Yeah.
But I think it's not an interest. I don't know what it is. Something in the DNA. Boys like to get out there and move
Mhm.
more than girls.
Yeah. I feel like there's already these like, what's it called? Standards for
Yeah.
men to like play sports already.
Right.
And women, like, for example, not that many people watch women's sports to begin with.
Right.
So there's not that much interest to begin with, like
Right.
from the audience, right?
Right. That's the thing, is that it makes me question, because now I think people are aware of that, and there's more coverage than ever. I think that you hear more conversations about women's sports now than you ever did. Definitely people talk about the Women's World Cup and WNBA more than they did 10 years
Yeah.
ago. But even when we're talking about it, even when the stigma is getting taken away, there's still not the turnout. I feel like it might, like, obviously we want women's sports to succeed because, once again, we already said that there's good athletes out there,
Mm-hmm.
but it might just be an interest thing.
Yeah.
Which sport is most conducive for women?
What? Sorry?
Like conducive. Like, what do you think is the sport that women would perform best at?
That's a tough question.
It is a
Where are these
tough question.
coming from?
I guess you could look at, like, don't think of like football or baseball. Maybe like dance. Would that be that's a sport still?
I can't understand if you're being sexist right now.
This isn't sexist.
Dance?
Isn't dance?
It is yeah.
It's
I guess.
bigger. Yeah, I mean, there's more female dancers than female hockey players. That's for sure.
Yeah. No, because there's less physical impact or whatever.
Right.
So I think that has to do with it.
Got it.
Because women have these other things that they're supposed to do, like raising a family in the future, right?
Right.
And like giving birth. So I feel like this started like years ago where men were playing sports because women were more important. I don't know.
No. Yeah. Like you couldn't. Yeah, obviously
Less
you didn't want to fuck them up. Yeah. 100%. So that's what you think the reason is. It's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I always wonder, like, how would that report come if you're, let's say the roles flipped and everyone watches women's hockey and no one watches men's hockey. What would you do if, like, your star player is out for the season because she got pregnant? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of problems you'd be dealing with.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
You know what I mean? That's not something that men need to deal with. It's interesting. What got you into soccer? You said your dad?
Yeah.
And you've stuck it out?
I played a lot of sports in high school. I played field hockey. I did rowing for 2 years, which was probably
That's not easy.
No, it was the hardest sport I've done so far because we had to wake up at like 4 or 5 a.m.
Jeez.
And both on and off water season was a lot for me.
What's off-season rowing?
Okay, so off water is like in the winter. You can't really row on water. Yeah, the erg.
Yeah.
So you had to train it indoors for off water because it was snowing. And then on water is usually in the spring where it's warm and you can run outside, do exercises, whatever, and then row.
What interests you in fitness overall? Because, you like going to the gym, you like working out, you like staying in shape, staying fit.
I feel like it's very important to stay in shape.
You think it's just like a health thing?
Yeah. It's not just about, I want to look this way or whatever. I feel like I feel better knowing that, like, I'm strong, like it makes me feel stronger. Is
it the strength then you're looking for? Because fitness can come in a lot of different ways, you know what I mean? Nutrition, health, like fitness, being what a certain build. But for you, is it strength? You like feeling the power?
Like, I'm going to be honest, for girls it's really hard because we have to look a certain way, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like I've overcome that and I'm just like focusing on strength right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Girl boss. Would you call yourself that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that like the new thing? I don't have TikTok, but like girl boss, CEO, queen. Yeah. All these other types of stuff.
Yep.
Nice.
Gym girl.
But yeah, it's the strength. For me, it's the strength too. I think that's good. But it is, yeah, you're right. It is different for women. There's a different expectation. Do you think that you can get that same confidence as a woman if you're not strong, but you're in good shape? Like let's say that, because like it is gendered, right? Like the men are expected to be strong.
Yeah, have to look bigger, muscular.
And then the women are expected to look small.
And
Exactly. So do you think that a woman who is skinny and small and I don't want to say weak, but I guess weak. Do you think that girl can be as confident as the strong girl? Do you think it's the same thing?
Yeah. Everyone has their own self-image, I should say, that like helps them feel more confident. Like everyone wants to look a different way.
Do you think that it's more important to focus on building yourself up through working out or building yourself up through food, like what you eat? Because that's what a lot of what they say is that
both.
You are what you eat.
Yeah. I kind of believe in that, but also like you can have your cheat days.
Obviously.
I kind of have cheat day every day. But
Yeah, same.
Yeah, like you don't have to eat salads all the time.
Yeah.
It's okay to eat, but also like you have to maintain this balance between like staying active, working out, and eating whatever you want.
Right. Yeah. I agree. Yeah, because there's like two choices. You either eat what you want and go to the gym and get strong.
Or you choose one of them.
Or I'd say you choose none of them.
Oh.
Yeah, you have to, like, if someone doesn't want to go to the gym, but they want to be in shape.
Then they're going to have to not eat as much.
they're gonna have to
junk food.
eat like
Healthier.
stuff they don't like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I guess it's just whatever is harder for you to do. Some people it's harder to go to the gym. They like hate the idea of lifting weights or running on a treadmill.
So they don't eat that much.
Right. I like eating food. I like eating what I want. Yeah. So I'll force myself to the gym. But yeah, no, it's interesting. What would you look for in like a partner in terms of that physical ability? Like, would you, like, would you date a dude who's like not to your like level? Like, if you worked out more than him, would you be able to be like, all right, I respect this guy still?
I mean, if he works out less than, I don't work out that much.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's hard to balance it with school, not gonna lie, but if I can lift more, I can't lift that much to begin with. So if I can lift more, I don't know, that's a bit concerning.
Red flag.
I don't want to be mean, but like also if he's got a great personality and he's really nice, like I can't really be like, no, I don't want to be with you because that's mean.
What do you think about that? I want to ask you that question. I want to ask you that question because, like, you know, you talk to your friends about, you know, looks and all this type of stuff, and then sometimes it'll come up with like family, the idea of is it like looks or personality, and anytime I emphasize like, yeah, you know, I really want to have a date a pretty girl, as all guys do, they'll ask the question like, what if she's like super nice and she treats you very well and she's like has a great personality,
but she's ugly?
My rebuttal to that is that why would I go for that when I can find a girl who's also nice, great personality, super good to me, and pretty? You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that looks and personality are more or less important than each other. I'm just saying that, you know, it's good to kind of maybe go for both. I
feel like everyone has their own perspective on beauty. Like someone will find a girl more attractive than another guy, for example, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Also, I'm scared that my parents are going to see this because I don't talk about men.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
No.
Sorry.
I've never dated in my life, by the way.
Got it.
Yes.
It's good to have high standards. I think that you will have high standards for your partner if you have high standards for yourself.
Yeah. I think in high school, like, I just had this one goal in mind, like getting good grades and just working on myself. And I didn't see anything working out because I knew in the long run that it wasn't going to work out. Like, it's high school, you're little.
Right.
I don't know, some people end up marrying their high school partners, but that's like 1%.
Yeah. I feel like for me, high school dating was like helpful in the sense of now I have that experience of what does it mean to be in a good relationship? What does it take? And you can kind of build on that at a young age. Because when I was thinking about it, I was kind of like thinking deep about it. I was like, would I really tell my kid to date in high school? It doesn't seem like a very beneficial thing. Like you said, like 1% chance of leading to a marriage.
I learned from observing others at my high school and how it went with them. And I was like, yeah, no. Like, most of them, there were a few that were like healthy relationships, but most of them were pretty toxic. And at the end, like, people just got hurt. Like, most of my friends were crying. And I was like, why would I put myself through that? Right. Yeah.
That comes to the saying, do you think it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all? It's from Men in Black, by the way. Will Smith said that.
I mean, it's good to have experience. Like, you learn from them, and then you take that onto your, like, next relationship, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can save yourself from that pain.
Right.
So I don't know.
I was talking about it to my boy Ibrahim the other day. Not that you know him, but shout out to Ibrahim. And we were comparing the difference between, like, that kind of pain and heartbreak for men and women. How do you think that breakups, from what you observed, affect girls differently than guys?
Apparently, it's worse for guys. It's like a scientific thing, but I don't see that. Like, I don't think guys show it as well as girls do in the beginning, at least. Like, girls emotionally get affected a lot because they get attached more.
Yeah.
But men, they show it a bit later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
It has to do with maturity too, I feel like, because men, like, it's scientific, like they mature after females.
Yeah.
So
That's a good point. That's a good point. And the attachment is definitely different because in general, don't want to get canceled for this. In general, I think that in a relationship, the man takes the role of like the protector and kind of like is caregiver the right word? That doesn't sound very right. But let's say protector.
I understand what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like losing a girlfriend is more painful in the sense that you are losing a person that you were kind of responsible for in the sense of their safety and their well-being. Whereas when a girl loses a guy, it's more losing the person. Once again, I feel like it's harder to lose someone you're responsible for than to lose someone who's responsible for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
I also want to bring up the fact that, okay, this is facts. Girls, like, try so much harder than guys do. I feel
in
like
terms of what?
To impress the guy.
To impress the guy.
They put on makeup, they do their hair, get their nails done. Nails are not cheap, by the way.
Right.
And they sometimes like diet, go on diets, work out because they want to look the certain way for the guy.
Yeah.
But no offense, this is facts. Sometimes like the prettiest girls go for like the most like
busted ass
guys. Because like they don't know like their worth, to be honest.
You think that's what it is?
Yes.
Interesting.
But then the guy will end up not treating them well anyways.
Clowns.
Yep.
Well, I will say that in that context, I agree. Girls take way more care of their appearance. Mm-hmm. But I think that looks is something that's more important for guys than it is for girls. In the sense that guys are looking for a pretty girl in the sense that a girl's not looking for a pretty guy.
I feel like girls care more about personality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
I think that's just scientific truth.
Also, like, it's easier for girls to get used.
In what way?
Like, okay, I want to also bring this up. Like using them for their bodies, right? Like, most guys, I'm not assuming that you are like this, but I met a lot of guys that care about body count and all that stuff, like just using girls for bodies, but they would never go for any of those girls if they were thinking about long-term relationship or like marrying them, because they're like, no, like she has to like not be doing stuff with men.
Right. I find that extremely hypocritical.
Can I swear?
Yep.
That's really f***ed up.
Yeah, it is f***ed up. I completely agree. And it's the best word for it is hypocritical. Mm-hmm. I am not like that at all. Just to
I don't think you are.
Thank you. But no, it's true. It's like guys will have these standards. And like when you said body count originally, I thought you meant they care about the girl's body count.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Well, that too for long term, right? Mm-hmm. If you're just trying to use her, then you wouldn't care.
No.
Which is the problem, which is why I think it's a complete... It's cowardly to take advantage of a girl like that and make her what is in your eyes less appealing for a long-term relationship. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You're adding that stress into her life. You're adding a +1 to her body count when you're not serious with her, when you don't have any serious intentions. I think that's extremely disrespectful and harmful. Yeah.
I feel like this is like one of the main reasons why girls have trust issues. Like I have trust issues from like not doing anything.
Yeah.
Like just from seeing how stuff works, I have trust issues.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that I like to say this in general, not to, once again, offend anybody who has been taken advantage of. But I think that if you are a good person, then you will be surrounded by good people, man or woman. If you're a good man, then you will find a girl who doesn't use you. And if you're a good woman, you will find a man who doesn't use you. I think it's hard. Sometimes you can get tricked, you know?
I was just going to say that. Like, I've been through, like, talking stages, right, where I've been kind of manipulated, and guys will act like they're the nicest person you've ever met. Like, they'll match your energy, and they'll basically have everything in common with you, and then you meet up in person, and like it's a second hangout, and there's so many red flags already in person that you couldn't see over text.
Yeah.
And like you've been talking for so long, and you couldn't see that in that person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I try to avoid the texting game, if you want to call it.
I'm so over it.
It's basically a game.
Yeah, it is a game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I try to avoid it. And in first year, I asked this girl out. It was not smooth at all, right? My experience was a little low back then, and it was not smooth. And people told me that I should have texted her first. Because I went up to her in person.
Yeah, I feel like, okay, nowadays, like, it's different. I feel like back then, yeah, whatever, in person. But I don't know, like, I feel like everything's on text now, so it's hard to even ask a girl out.
I mean, yeah, a lot of dudes don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that a lot of dudes are scared to ask a girl out. And that was kind of like my approach, is that, like, I'm not going to be a bitch. I'm going to go in person, but
That's
it might
pretty
be
good.
scary for the girl. Sometimes
Yeah,
girls
it can
would
be
prefer...
intimidating.
Sometimes
Yeah.
a girl would prefer a text.
Also, it depends on how long you've known her, or like how
Right,
long
yeah.
have you been friends?
Like, yeah,
Is she
zero
comfortable with you?
zero
or like,
seconds.
or
Like,
did
that's
you
the
just
thing.
meet her like
Yeah.
yesterday?
Basically.
Really? Is that what happened?
It was cold approach.
Okay. Wait,
Yeah.
how did you ask her out? Sorry.
I don't know if I'm going to go into the details per se.
I'm so curious.
Not going to go to the details per se, but yeah, when I told my boys, I was like, yeah, that one up. They were like, dude, you should have texted her. But once again, I'm not saying that's wrong. You maybe should have texted her, but you need to avoid this game where the girl thinks you're something you're not.
Yeah.
You know
Also,
what I
like,
mean?
that's why I hate texting, because you don't know if the person is actually feeling that way. Like, you can't see their emotions.
Mhm.
Like, people will send emojis, like laughing emojis, but they're not really laughing, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's true.
It's really fake.
I cannot tell you how many. I don't know if it's an argument. I don't know what to even call this, but how many times I will see my girlfriend after a few days and she'll be upset by the way that I texted her the night before.
Are you dry texter?
I don't know if I'm a dry texter. That's the thing.
I'm a really dry texter.
But like people,
it depends. who
there's
I'm
no
talking to.
emotion. You just said, right?
Yeah.
So it's like there's emotion on my side. I think I'm texting with emotion.
No,
She's
but
like,
you have to show it. Like, you have
Yeah.
to put effort.
yeah, like the way you said this.
People get mad at me too for being dry over text. I
Yeah.
hate texting. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I have to agree. I love being in person. You can see what I'm saying. You can hear the tone I'm speaking in.
Exactly. The tone matters too.
Absolutely. I'm surprised you say that because I feel like this is the problem that most dudes face. I feel like girls are really good at texting
What do you mean?
in the sense that, like, off a hunch, I'm going to guess that girls text more often than guys. So, and also in my past relationships, I've had girls shit on me for being a bad texter.
Like how?
Because
Hello.
they're getting the wrong context.
Oh,
They're
okay.
getting the wrong tone.
Yeah.
I don't know how they can get the
I
wrong
wonder how dry
tone.
you
though.
are. You must be really dry. at
I'm
texting.
not that dry. I send some emojis.
Okay, what emojis?
I'll do an exclamation mark every now and then. Exclamation marks are extremely zesty, I feel, on text.
Okay.
Do you do exclamation marks?
No.
No. It's a little strange. It feels like something you do in an email to a professor, not something you do on
Yeah.
text to a girl.
Yeah, not the girl you're trying to talk to.
No. What's your, like, top texting tips for dudes out
Oh
there?
my god.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
Let's get
know.
this. Let's get some texting advice from Khushpreet.
Texting advice?
Yeah. You said you're a dry texter, but probably not as bad as me. So I want to hear some of your advice.
I'm not great at this. First off, don't be clingy. Like, you should also be able to understand the girl's energy. If she's not reciprocating that, just stop. Stop trying.
Yeah.
Because I hate when, like, I get hit up and they keep texting me when I'm, like, one-worded replies.
Yeah.
Like, you should get the hint. Because I hate being mean. I hate leaving people unopened or undelivered. So, like, if a girl is being dry, just, like, be dry back. I'm sorry.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely true.
It gives a girl the wrong message, because I sometimes feel like, oh, this guy's just hitting me up. He probably hits up, like, 10 other girls, too. Like, he barely knows me, and he's already saying all this stuff about me. Like, you don't know me. I feel like the best way to like actually talk to someone is naturally. Maybe in person. I feel like, yeah, in person's a lot better because everything's natural. Text is like fake. You have to come up with stuff to say, and you don't know if the other person is being genuine.
Yeah, 100%. I've retired from cold approach anyways.
After that one incident.
After that one incident, it's like, it's just so unnatural. That's the thing. Is that because at the start I was like, I need to work on my game. I need to work on my approach. I didn't use the right line. You know, I should have done it in a different environment. But I just realized that this is completely unauthentic.
Yeah.
And she knows the only reason I'm talking to her is because she looks good.
Because some guys think it's a game to like talk to the most girls. Not even talking, like to have like a bunch of girls in their DMs. Like they'll be the one hitting them up, and then they'll be flexing to their friends like, oh, this girl's hitting me up. I'm like, no, you hit her up first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
It's
I can't
so
do that.
Cringy to see.
I can't do that. It's too much for me. Well, it's been a good discussion, Khushpreet. Covered a few bases. Covered a lot of topics. Do you have any final thoughts to share with the people?
Stay focused and don't settle for less. Like that's my best tip, because I use that. Like a lot of my friends tell me that too.
Stay focused. Don't settle for less. When you're saying don't settle for less, is that like don't settle for less than in a relationship?
In any relationship, like your friendships, like if someone's treating you awfully, like don't put in more effort. Like I find that I am usually in friendships like putting in more effort than other people.
It's not good.
Yeah.
It has to be reciprocal.
Yeah.
You don't want to hang out with people that are uninterested.
No, because they don't. I don't know if I should say. Yeah, they don't really care as much as you do.
I mean,
about
they don't
your
want
friendship.
Yeah.
So why waste your time?
Exactly.
Like, for example, in high school, I was called a tryhard because I was always studying, and I was also like participating a lot. But at the same time, like I took that as a compliment, because that just means like you're low-key insecure, like you're not putting enough effort, and you feel the need to hate on someone else that's working harder. But also I saw in uni, like UofT is very competitive, especially first year. I saw like there were actual like tryhards here.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. And I also started hating on them because I was like, what the hell? Like, shut up.
But it was insecurity.
But now I'm like, yeah, because I was insecure. I was like, good for them. Like, they're getting great grades. They're doing a lot better than me. I should be happy for them, not calling them a tryhard because I feel insecure.
Absolutely. It's hilarious you bring this up. There was a verse that Christian had told me right before this podcast that is explaining exactly what I'm about to talk about. And I don't know the Bible very well, but I've never liked people who criticize others for trying too hard. A lot of it came with hockey when I started playing hockey when I was younger.
Sports.
Yeah, sports. It's like, look at this guy, like whatever. This isn't a competitive league. He's trying too hard, blah, 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 blah. There is nothing cool about not putting effort into something. No. I don't know who these lazy fucks are who thinks it's awesome to not try.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Like, not just sports, like in general, and like everything in life, like even school and sports, like you should be trying in both of them. Even with your relationships, you should be trying. I feel like it reflects on who you are and also how you're going to succeed in life. Yeah. Because I feel like if you don't try, like you're just going to be lazy and you're not going to go that far.
100%. Absolutely. If it's worth doing, it's worth doing as best as you can possibly do it. I think that's what it is. This Bible verse that my friend was telling me right before the podcast says, it's Colossians 3:23. It says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters. Basically, all that's saying is if something is worth doing, it's worth doing to its full extent as best as you can possibly do it. So if you think that there are things that you shouldn't try hard at, you probably shouldn't be doing them at all. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, it's completely true. One last topic, actually, sorry, before we wrap up, that I wanted to ask you about, because I get shit on a lot for my fashion.
Okay.
I don't have the best fashion sense. As you look up and down, see what I'm wearing right now. I need some tips.
You're asking me for tips.
I'm asking you for tips because, call me sexist, I feel women have better fashion sense than men. And I am at the bottom of the barrel.
I don't know. It depends. Like, you can't say that for all men.
Obviously.
I know some guys who have great fashion sense.
I am not one of them. I need help.
So what are you asking for?
I need some men's fashion advice. Because I have a feeling that even women know men's fashion better than the average man. But every time I talk to a girl about this, they always give me some like shit leather pants and like big ass clunky t-shirt. I need like some gentlemanly fashion.
There's different types of fashion. Like if you're trying to go for like baggy, that could look good too, like baggy top and like joggers or something. I don't know, but you also don't want to look like a Toronto man, like every other basic guy at TMU.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like their fashion's not on point.
Not it?
No.
Okay. So how would you fix it? Let's say if my vibe, I guess I need to give you like kind of a prompt. Are casual and classy, do they collide? Like, can you have a mix of
yeah,
both?
like
Casual class is what I'm looking for.
I find it nice when like guys wear like smart clothing.
Smart, that's what it is.
Yeah. That makes them look more mature.
Right.
Rather than tech fleece.
I don't even know what that is. Is that a shoe?
Like the Nike tech fleece?
I don't know. I don't know this.
You're from here, around here.
2 hours away.
That's pretty close. Nike tech fleece.
Nope. I'm telling you, I'm not involved in this at all.
Right now?
Okay, let's see what these look like.
Because that's concerning.
Yeah, let's see what these look like. Nike
that's like
tech
basic
fleece?
Toronto mans.
Nah. I'm not one of these people. I'll make that very clear. These are going to be some...
You
like,
give me like... I don't want to be racist. Like, you know, like fishing type.
Okay.
Like the type of white boys that look like they go fishing every weekend.
Okay. These are type...
I'm violating him right now.
This is not a shoe at all.
No. What made you think it's a shoe?
Nike, I always think Nikes are shoes. Jordans?
Yeah, that's... You can just edit it.
Oh,
and
yeah, I'll zoom
put a
it in.
picture.
Oh.
Yeah.
How do you know
I'm
that
better
and
than
I
you.
don't? Yeah, exactly.
I should be
Need
running
that
this
advice.
podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. No, okay, I'm not doing this. This looks like a little boy.
Yeah. Have you seen like TMU guys?
No.
You've never walked to Dundas?
Why would I go to that
Have you been to that area?
shit pit of the city? No offense.
That's like a whole country of lookalikes.
Yeah, I agree. It's just not classy.
No.
It's too casual.
Yeah.
Looks a little too comfortable to me.
Too basic.
Sure.
Like if everyone's looking the same, that's also an ick.
I agree.
Yeah. Like you don't want to be with a girl who dresses up the same or looks the same as every other girl. Like you want her to be unique. Right?
Right. Yes. Yeah. Not like wearing Ugg boots and leggings and shit. Isn't that like the style? Didn't that come back? I heard that came back.
Uggs?
Uggs.
Back.
Yeah, they're back.
I'm an Ugg girl.
See? So what the you literally just said you don't want your girl looking like all the other girls.
Okay, those are so comfy though. They're cute.
That's bullshit. Were you wearing them last year?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So maybe you're like an OG Ugg
I'm
wearer.
an OG. I've had them since high school. So
Okay.
For a minute.
So, okay, but now that it's back in.
Yes.
Are you still rocking them? Like, are you still now in the crowd?
I haven't worn them this year yet.
Oh, okay.
Everyone else is wearing them.
Yeah, they're back.
Basic.
Fair.
Yeah.
I wonder what makes like, because there's that for men and women. So it's like Uggs for women. Then you have whatever Nike fleece bullshit you just pulled up for men.
Yeah.
And like Jordans is also something that all men want.
It's been basic. Yeah.
Yeah, like what makes people... There's got to be a difference in the personality of someone who really wants to fit in with the crowd and someone who doesn't want to.
I was just thinking that. I feel like a lot of people just get these clothings because they want to look or like fit in with everyone else. Like they want to be a part of that movement or whatever. Fashion movement.
Yeah.
The Uggs.
So how do you distinguish yourself just by being an OVO super fan?
Okay, that's just my personality. No, I actually love Drake. Like it's been a while. It's
Drake,
not,
if you're watching this,
it's not because
hit her up.
I'm following for clout or whatever. Like, oh, Drake just started getting. It's true. Like I feel like Drake just started getting more popular now recently, especially since he was on tour and like his recent albums over the last couple of years. He's had a lot of music drop. But I've been listening to him for a while. Like even in high school, people used to clown on me for listening to Drake. They're like, "Oh, why do you listen to Drake? He's so icky." I'm like, I don't care. Like I did so many like assignments in high school based on Drake.
That's awesome.
Like I did research in French about Drake, and for my art class, I painted him. I have this big painting in my room of Drake. It looks really realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, so no, I actually want to do one more question about your Drake fandom. Because my cousin loves Justin Bieber. But when I ask her about, like, would you date Justin Bieber? She's like, oh, no.
Yeah, I wouldn't date Drake.
That's
the
thing.
All my friends think I want to date Drake.
So then what's, like, the fandom? Explain to me, like, how, like, a young girl can be a super fan of Drake but not see him in the sense of, like, I am attracted to this man.
Like, I kind of see him as a role model, even though sometimes he can be, I don't know, suspicious.
Okay. Yeah.
Acting with
a little sus
with the BBL stuff.
Okay.
Memes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just look up to him.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like an older brother type thing. Maybe.
I wouldn't say older brother. I would say like uncle or something.
Uncle. Yeah. Fair.
No,
a little too old. A little too old. Sorry, Drake.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Do you have time?
Yeah.
Does it even matter?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Are you religious?
No.
Okay.
I believe in God, but I'm not religious.
What?
So there's like a
So you believe there's something?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you know about like Sikhism? Have you heard about it?
Like obviously I know like that it's a thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that I'm that religious, but I do believe in my religion, even though like I don't pray as much as I should be, but I do like some verses whenever I'm like walking around or whatever.
Yeah. But
basically like we believe in one God.
Yeah.
Like no shape or form. Yeah. And we have like a holy book. Yeah. And I'm surprised you don't know who we are. Like you know what Punjabis are. Yeah, Punjabi. Like we're Sikh. That's a religion. Yeah. But also Punjabi is like a culture. Yeah. Like there's Muslim Punjabis in Pakistan because of the partition or whatever that was there. Yeah. But yeah, I think you should take a look up on Sikhism. Yeah. Not try to convert you.
No, I'm not.
Well, that's the thing. Interesting.
I can't be converted to anything because I don't affiliate with a religion yet. Yeah, like the name literally means like to learn. Like that's what it translates. Like Sikh means to learn. Mm-hmm. So basically, our gurus, we have 10 gurus that wrote our holy book, and they wrote about a lot of like ways of viewing life and how to be a better person. Like there's a lot of, it's called seva, like where you donate and do charitable things, and I feel like that's pretty good as well. It's good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that in general, like I have not learned the ins and outs of every religion on earth, but yeah, I don't know either. Yeah, from what I know, all of them are positive and they preach very good things. So yeah, no, I definitely would take a look into that. Yeah, there's a lot more that I don't know, so I don't want people to hate on me for what I just said, because I'm not as religious as I should be. That's fair. Yeah. Good stuff. Well, Khushpreet, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. We covered a lot. Yeah, we went into everything. Ins and outs. Talked about Drake. Talked about texting. Talked about frats a little bit. I don't expect to see you at them. No. This year. Hopefully not. I won't know because I won't be there. But yeah, you wouldn't know. Anyways, Everybody, thank you for watching. Like the interview. It was great. Subscribe to the channel. Follow on Instagram and TikTok at Voices of Vic, and we will see you next Sunday. Peace out.